Play this morning on WTMB. Joe and Kim Palo with you today. It is, what day is it? What day is it?
What day is it? What day is it?
It's hump day. Yeah.
I know, and you know that has been on all the favorite commercials for 2013. That has made the list several times, and we were the first, Joe. Right. We were the first to.
I'm so glad we thought of it and sent it into Geico,
yeah, that made one of the funniest ones, and it was.
So, I mean, and in the scheme of things, it is very funny. They've got all kinds of things related to it now. I mean, not just obviously the Geico billboards with it, but there's T-shirts and there's everything about it. It's kind of like Duck Dynasty. Between Duck Dynasty and the Geico Camel, I mean,
marketing tools are just
used
up. I'm telling you.
Speaking of Duck Dynasty, they're back in production or going back into production, and they're just going to like lay low and forget everything that Phil Robertson said, and which is probably a good thing. And
well, I think around these parts we kind of hero worshipped him
in
this area.
It's a very popular show. A lot of people enjoy their banter, even though it may somewhat be scripted, I guess, from time to time. But it is a good show, and our friend Chris Free is the one that turned you on to it.
I know. Who would have? I thought it was one of those reality shows like Honey Boo Boo and the ones that you just didn't want.
That's my favorite.
I know. And I just was like, no. And then Chris told me, he said, no, Kim, it's really funny. I mean, he had a Duck Dynasty, like a coffee mug or something. And I was like, what? And then so after that, I mean, I've sat down for the marathons and watched them, and I think there's huge. And anyone that believes that reality TV is not scripted, honey, Big Brother is real.
It's like this show. You see how we just roll on with things we're saying? Everything we're saying, every word, every paragraph sentence, every punctuation is on a teleprompter right there in front of us. So everything you hear us say, no matter how natural it seems, it's all written out, and I do all of it and tell her what to say and what I'm going to say.
He does.
But no, it's reality is
it's
reality.
Reality is scripted.
Life is scripted, Kim.
But it's very entertaining, and I think that that's one of the few shows that are out there that really does have a moral value at the end of the program, and prayer of all things. You don't do that. Can't even do that at schools anymore. In the mornings or even at ball games, and so I'm glad he came out unscathed.
Well, speaking of reality and prayer and the good things on TV, football is still happening.
It is.
And that's reality.
And you're happy because the Seminoles came back. That was a great game.
That was a wonderful game. And Jameis Winston, first freshman quarterback in history to win who wins the Heisman Trophy and the BCS championship game. So
maybe he's going to break that curse.
He's a big young man, and we saw some footage. They were showing footage of him when he played like boys club football. And first of all, he was number 2, which obviously was the number of our Jameis Winston, Juwan Smith, many years ago. And Matthew and I were laughing because it was exactly like watching video of Juwan.
Right.
It was Jameis around right, around left, and just running, and everybody else behind him.
In the middle. Yep.
But yeah, that was a great game.
It was a good game.
And so, of course, college football is over now, is done.
Yes.
But we still got 3-4 weeks left of the NFL.
Right.
We got the divisional games this weekend, and then, of course, they'll have the championships next weekend and then the Super Bowl. So who are you going to pull for? I haven't even asked you. I'm asking you right now.
I really don't
Read
know.
what I wrote right there. Who, what?
I know you didn't write anything.
Who are you pulling for?
I don't know. Well, I talked about. Well, I didn't talk about it with anybody, but I told you that someone. I mean, now that the Dolphins are out of it and they didn't make.
Oh, they are?
Yeah.
I'm still thinking they're in it.
All in our own power. We just had to win against the Chiefs.
All right, enough
Buffalo.
about that. Who are you picking now? Don't go.
2 worst games we've ever played.
Yeah, just who are you picking now? Who are you picking? Who are you picking? Ken?
Well, I'm not picking anyone. I mean, I would like, and I know you're going to get mad over the whole thing of jumping on the bandwagon, but I like Peyton Manning, and I didn't like what they did with him in the Colts.
Goodness. Are you really saying that now on TV?
But no, I'm saying that how I always go for the underdog. And
well, that's not Peyton Manning and the Denver Broncos.
I'm saying the Chargers. Shut up.
You're picking the Chargers.
Let me just finish. Is that they are the way underdogs of all the underdogs. I mean, that team is the least likely to win the Super Bowl, but there is. And so if they make a run for it and they win it, I'm screaming, yelling, and hollering.
All right. Well, I will say this.
So you go for the Patriots?
we'll get up and walk out of here right now. You
I
keep
know.
that up.
I mean, I was thinking.
I will say this, though, about with the Chargers. They came out with a stat yesterday. Now, think about this. Just think about it for a minute, all right?
God, it's going to take you an hour to tell.
It's going to take me an hour. Think about this. All right, first of all, the last 4 years in a row, the Super Bowl winner, the last 4 years, matter.
How many years?
4.
4?
Doesn't matter
4?
where they came from. Their first game of their season, the last 4 years, was against the Philadelphia Eagles, in which the team who became the evident Super Bowl winner won. So if you played the Philadelphia Eagles game 1 of the season, and they're home at their home,
the past 4 years,
and you beat them, you became the Super Bowl winner 4 years. Now, who played Philadelphia this year first?
The Chargers.
So if it happens and they win the Super Bowl, then it's a done deal.
Oh, and they say there's no coincidence.
No, then it's just a done deal, and we've figured out the code. We've cracked the code.
We've cracked the code.
You got to play Philadelphia.
We're going to see if we cannot get the Dolphins to play Philadelphia first game next year and win.
James, can we cut her mic and maybe just put the one
no,
shot
I'm
on me?
just trying to give us a chance. I mean,
we've got a chance.
We don't have to win our last 2 games. We just win that first game, and that's it.
There you go. All right.
One of them.
Why I ought to.
Let's get on with our show.
We've got a great show for you today.
Yes, we do.
We do have a wonderful show. Of course, we've got our resident historian, Ron Moore, in the house, and Ron will impart some historic.
And Debbie's here, so that
to make sure he keeps all the facts straight.
Right, because she knows. She
Right.
writes for him like I write for you. You write for me, I mean.
I'm glad you said it that way, because that is true.
It is.
What I do for Kim, Debbie does for Ron.
Right.
But he'll be here with some information, and he'll have some good history for us. And again, as we always say, if it's something he really doesn't know, he makes it up so well that you absolutely believe it.
Right.
And he's very believable. But we also have Dr. Kim Fisher in the house, who is the principal of Black Fox School. And she has brought with us, or with her, for us, a video that the school made.
Another thing, we were talking about the commercials, but
Yes.
a lot of the other things that happened in 2013 that you'll see everywhere, and I just loved it, was the song, What Does the Fox Say? And it's just, that's the cutest song I've ever seen. Well, their school did a lip sync to it, and it is, I mean, it's a hoot, and they did a great job. It's an elementary school, and then you've got all those teachers. I mean, adults actually got involved, and they did a great job. And so we're going to show you that video.
And what the Fox say, it kind of goes with Black Fox School. See, it goes hand in hand.
You think maybe they might have, there was a reason?
Well, Kim, it was, they until I told them
Nothing
about
past
it,
this one.
until I called
Not
Kim and
one
told her
thing
about it
past
and said,
it.
listen, you Black Fox School, the song, and she was like, hey, I think a good idea.
Wait till you see the video, Joe.
Okay. All right. So what does the fox say? And
Ding, 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 ding.
right. So we've got Kim and we've got Ron, and that's about it.
That's about it.
Going to
Well,
be our
we're
full
going to show
show.
the video, and we're going to talk. I mean, there's some interesting thing in Dr. Fisher's life. I mean, we're going to find out some good stuff.
That's exactly right. Now, that's going to be the difference between Kim and Ron. Interesting. Well, Ron's interesting. Let's don't take anything away from his. He's very interesting. But the fact that we're not involved in football anymore, he and I, because it's all over with. The high school's over with.
There's no. Cry?
I am going to cry. I mean, we won't see each other in that light again for months now. I mean, unless we can start some other kind of show up where we can talk football early, like spring. We'll see if we can work that out. Anyway, so Dr. Kim Fisher, Ron Moore, back with more Tennessee Valley this morning when we return after these messages. Stay tuned.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy. Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning on WTMB. Again, Joe and Kim Palo with you, now joined by Dr. Kim Fisher of Black Fox Elementary. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Now, did you have a great holiday? I'm sure you did.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, I did.
Wonderful.
It was a wonderful holiday.
And now we're
Very
freezing.
pleasant. And now we're freezing, but that's okay.
I know, and then, I mean, and the schools even got,
Schools, yeah.
another day up there. Now, were they off yesterday on Tuesday?
Yes.
They were? Okay, I didn't know. I knew they were on Monday.
And then off tomorrow,
Oh,
which
okay.
is actually, I guess, today.
So, right.
But we had some schools that didn't have power,
Right.
didn't have the heat. Wow. And then there's always a concern with frostbite with
Sure.
kids at the bus stop.
That's
I think
true.
it's the...
Because, I mean, those kids get out those bus stops
They
early.
do. They do.
I mean, we do this show at 6:30 in the mornings,
Mm-hmm.
and we have seen kids out at the bus stops. I mean,
Oh,
before
yeah.
on our way in,
They're
pitch
not
dark,
at
and I'm
6:30,
like, Mom would have had a fight. That's all I'm
Right,
saying. Is Mom
right.
would have
It
had a fight.
is. It's something to be concerned about when the weather, when the temperature is this low.
And really, it doesn't take that long to be out in it to get frostbite and
10 to
hypothermia and all
15
that.
minutes.
Yeah.
Our chihuahuas are just doing their business. They're not worried about
They're
the
not messing
squirrels
around,
or about the
no.
birds or people walking or, people in their own yards, for gosh sakes, because they can't stand that. They are just to their business and then
That's
back them.
right.
And one of them just stays on 3 legs the whole time. It's trying to pull them. It's trying not
Or they'll
to
go
walk
out
in
and then they'll
circles.
turn around and go, no, I'm just going right back in. I don't need to
I'll
go.
go to the living room.
I
I
don't
never
need to
go
go.
in there.
Yeah.
When I opened the door this morning, I thought, okay, this was colder than opening my refrigerator, and it really was. It was colder, so.
And not to
Our
change,
dog didn't mess around either.
well, and in keeping in that light, earlier today we saw a video which I never thought was possible, but they showed antifreeze in this weather. In 30 minutes, freezes.
But that was
That's
at
not
like
gonna-
30
yeah.
below zero.
Yeah, but still, it's antifreeze. That's why it's called antifreeze. It should be
What,
called
really?
maybe you'll freeze.
Yes.
It gets really cold.
Right,
It
it will freeze.
Sometimes it freezes. Yeah.
Right.
Now, Debbie was telling me that your dad was principal at Black
Yes,
Fox, so you have
he
followed
was.
in very great shoes,
He
haven't
was.
you?
Actually, my dad's first year teaching, he taught 6th grade at Black Fox Elementary.
Oh, wow.
And I was 2 years old. When people ask me, how long have you been at Black Fox, I think, well, my whole life.
My whole entire life.
Since 2, and I'm not going to tell you that was a long time. But he started his career there and then went on and taught at Bradley High School. He came back and told me just about every day from his first day at Black Fox that if I didn't work in an elementary school, I was wasting my life.
Oh, well, there you go.
And stayed after me, and there was a 2nd grade opening, but I went to Black Fox. We were original Zone Hopper family. He loved the teachers there so much. And so I went to Black Fox as a student, And
so you've just got it all in your blood.
I
mean,
went there.
Just
yeah, it's really nice whenever the power goes out, because regardless of whose classroom is identified on the switch box, I can remember who was there.
There you go.
So,
and so you
yes,
really
ma'am.
do know what the fox says.
I know what the fox says. I do.
Now tell us a little bit about, now what they did was they did this lip sync to What Does the Fox Say? And I know everybody, if you haven't seen it, you've been in a cave, okay? Not their video, but What Does the Fox Say?
Well, our
tell us a little bit. Right, our video, I've watched it like 3 times, so there you go.
Thank you very much.
Thumbs up, got likes all over the place.
Well, we, of course, anything that has anything to do with a fox, we love.
Right.
And because those of us who work at Black Fox lovingly refer to it as the Fox.
Oh, okay.
See you at the Fox, or what time you get there. So when What Does the Fox Say came out, we loved that. Our kids loved it. They would ask me in the hallway, and we would do the little ringy ding ding and giggle about it. And I had seen on the Today Show they did a organizational lip dub, which is a one take. And it takes a lot of teamwork,
right?
And everybody has to know what their role is, but also how to carry it off if it doesn't go right.
Right.
So I thought, I wonder if you could walk through our school in 3 minutes and 33 seconds, which is how long that song is. And it took me a while to finally make it all the way through the building. But yes, you could. You could walk all the way through our school in 3 minutes, 33 seconds. So I mentioned it on our little school news program, that wouldn't it be fun to do a lip sync to that? And every day from that moment until the day we did it, every day a student would say, when are we going to do our video? When are we going to do the video? So had to do it to make good on the
there's no backing out of that.
You promised 550 children you're going to do something. You better show up.
Now, Kim, was the entire school involved? Every class?
Every single person, preschool.
I don't think you've seen it.
I have not seen it. I have, so
well,
it's be the
really
first time
cute. And every time you watch it, I've noticed students, it's so funny, some of them who are so shy. There's this cute little girl, and every morning she holds her papa's hand, little Lindsay. She holds her papa's hands, and she's, Papa, and then she goes on to first grade. And she was just, she knew every word, and I saw her. It was really cute. So, and she wasn't the only one. There was a number of students who really got what their part was, and I could see, as I watched again and again.
Right,
I
I'm
watched it
sure.
times myself. But little guys who had prepared something because they knew when the camera would roll by, and that made me really happy. And some children are shy. You'll see some that they aren't so shy during the day. They were very shy when the video camera went by, and the same with teachers. They were wonderful. Of course, we have a very talented staff. They're just brilliant. They're good people. And so they jumped in there. My son, who teaches at another school, said, how did you get them to do that? They're really good people.
They did a really good job. And I don't know, Joe, do you want to take a commercial break before we come back to that?
Sure.
Can we do that?
You want to do that, James? We'll take a commercial break, and then we'll come back?
We'll come back and see the video, and then we'll finish up after
Sure.
that. How about that? Okay.
Okay, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back more with Dr. Kim Fisher of Black Fox Elementary School.
And What Does the Fox Say?
What Does the Fox Say? We return after this. Thank you. Keep talking.
Keep talking, he said. See, I threw that right at him.
You did.
I know.
Because he had the DVD loaded in, and now he had to do all the switch
I had
around.
to do all of that. I'm sorry,
like
James.
that, I mean.
I am so sorry.
That's why I got to write everything for her to say, so she knows what to say and when to say it.
So there you go.
But now I think we've given him enough time.
I think it's okay.
So commercial, Kim, let's watch this. We'll be back right after this commercial. Please stay tuned.
Yeah.
GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here. Doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy. All right, welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning. Again, as promised, we have, of course, Dr. Kim Fisher with us from Black Fox Elementary. And what did the fox say?
Yes.
And that video is going to be coming up here. We've got to give James just a little bit of time to
No,
switch
that's
it up.
fine, but because, you know, they did a great job. The whole school was involved.
The whole entire
Staff,
school.
all the students, everyone, you're going to see it from start to finish. They did a really great job, and then we'll talk about it a little bit. And Joe, you need to watch. You haven't watched.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Joe might get up and start doing a little
I
bit.
think I'm going to. Now, real quick, I do want to ask you this, Kim, while he gets that loaded up. You said there's over 500 students, and how many faculty members? I guess the whole entire faculty participated?
Entire faculty, I think we ended up with about 60 because we used our cafeteria staff, all the teachers, all the assistants. There have even been more than that.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, another
They were
quick
all
question.
involved. Yes, sir.
How long was it how long did it take to do
Well,
all of it?
I'll just be honest. We could have had done so many more things, but we had to learn. We are a school.
Right,
So
exactly.
we did it all, and we got the whole thing done in 2 hours.
Oh, my goodness.
It was really, it was done
You
in 2
had that little
hours.
curriculum thing.
Yes, we
that
had
all
a thing called learning that we're there for, but I was so concerned. I had somewhere I had to be after we got finished shooting, and I was really concerned of all the kids are going to be all whipped in a frenzy, and then I'm leaving, and the teachers will be just frustrated. They were so tired. They all went back to the room, and because it took its toll. It's really hard being in the so good for you. It's hard being in the movies. It's hard making.
Well, that's when the teacher goes back and says, "Okay, now class, everybody, we're going to put our heads down."
That's right. Nobody had to tell them to do that. They were all like, "Whew."
glad
They
to
were
do
really
it.
tired.
All right, so I think, James, if you've got the video set up, let's take a look at this. This is Black Fox Elementary and their version. What did the fox say?
What does the fox say?
What does the fox say?
Dog goes woof, cat goes meow, bird goes tweet, and mouse goes squeak. Cow goes moo, and frog goes croak, and the elephant goes toot. Ducks say quack, and fish go blub, and the seal goes ow, ow, ow. But there's one sound that no one knows. What does the fox say? What the fox say? What the fox say? Happy, happy, happy ho. Happy, happy, happy ho. Happy, happy, happy ho. What the fox say? What the fox say? Big blue eyes, pointy nose, chasing mice and digging holes. tiny paws up the hill. Suddenly you're standing still. Your fur is red, so beautiful, like an angel in disguise. But if you meet a friendly horse, will you communicate by more? How will you speak to that horse? What does the fox say? What the fox say? What the fox say? What the fox say? What does the fox say? The secret of the fox, ancient mystery, somewhere deep in the woods. I know you're hiding. What is your sound? Will we ever know? Will always be a mystery. What do you say? You're my guardian angel, hiding in the woods. What is your
It was like, we started filming at 8.
That was incredible.
A one-take wonder.
One take.
One take.
We could learn from that here at WTMB. I mean, that would have taken us about a week, 1,500 takes, but one take. Very smoothly done. Did you guys rehearse that? Like,
we did little bits, and we rehearsed on teachers' planning times alone without students.
Right.
So they kind of had a mental picture for how it was supposed to look. But we used a wheelchair. My granddad's old wheelchair. He would love that, to know that we used his wheelchair. And my son is a film teacher at Lee. I don't think I mentioned that.
No.
He teaches, Matt Fisher, he teaches at Lee University in the Communications and Film Department.
Okay.
And so he did the videoing, and because they were done, and my husband came and pushed the wheelchair.
It was a family affair, wasn't it? Because your daughter
bless
teaches.
their hearts, she does. Yes.
And, you know, Miss
We love
Fisher
it. Yeah,
was
we love
the
Black
fox.
Fox.
She was the fox there at the end.
Nobody wanted that part of it.
Well, you had to take that.
I was glad to do it.
well, now let me ask you this, because as you watch the video, of course, it goes through the school. I guess you had to plan out, we're going to go down this aisle, we're going to turn down this hallway, we're going to go, because it was all done just like without skipping a beat. You went from there all the way around, and just the smoothness of the...
And the timing, the amount of time that you had for the
no
song
kidding.
and everything.
Well, we wanted it to be, to show off teamwork, because that's what a good school has.
Right.
It has great teamwork. So So it really did have something beyond just fun. It was a lot of fun, but teamwork is important. And they worked together. The grade groups were in sections, so you saw kindergarten to first grade to fifth grade, second grade. So each grade had their little part. They were really precious.
And of course, you saw the basketball team there too.
Right.
Yes, they had to
That
howl.
morning they decided they wanted.
Yeah, the day before when we were like, okay, wear your school T-shirt, and every, I'd be in the hallway. Can we wear our cheerleading outfit? Can we wear our whatever?
Whatever you want.
We threw it together. Laura Calfee, actually a third grade teacher, made all our fox ears like in one night, and we just all, wear white shirt, black tie.
Well, that's what I was going to say. Who decided on what the ensemble would be at their particular little segment?
I would love to look like those great girls in the real video. You need to watch the real video. They're the girls dressed up and they have black ties, white shirt, black pants. So we were kind of a little bit copying.
Right.
Man,
I'm telling
but
you,
the
that was
elephants,
very well
those
done.
were just as
They
cute
were
as
cute.
They were as cute as
They
could
worked
be. And
really
then you had
hard.
the group that had their face painted, and one of the teachers did that morning.
Yes, our art teacher, Miss Cross, she came in, and the fourth grade teachers had and our librarian and counselor, they had the little fox face. It was a lot of fun.
And of course we would be remiss to not mention the fact of how you organize 500 first through fifth graders to do preschool.
Well, you did keep them behind the glass.
We did keep them. We didn't want them to
but
fall
they were
down.
still, but they were still a part of it. That's right.
But I mean, the organization of that, to have them all now, just to be able to speak to that many, to have them do anything you would like them to do at the same time would be difficult. And you did that in one take. That's just incredible.
Organized chaos.
That's right. There you go.
Organized chaos. We had to cut. We wanted to be able to get to the gym and really do. We actually had to do two. Whenever her hand touches the door going into the gym,
yes.
We did the first take, and then when we were in the gym, we took our time and got everybody in there safely and said, all right, here's where you stand. And so it was two takes, but the song was one take. So
that was incredible. That was very, very well done.
Fun.
I know. Well, good for you.
Teamwork.
Yes,
well, thank you. Good for our staff.
I know. Well,
we have wonderful people. I'll just tell you, I love them so much and appreciate all that they do.
Well, you could
do a
tell
great
that
job.
they just all had a great
teachers.
time,
Yeah.
and you did a great job with that. So congratulations. And if you have not seen it and you would like to see it again, because once you see it and then you're like, oh, was that so? If you want to see it again and again, you can go to your website.
You can go to our website, or you can go to YouTube. And now, if you just type in Black Fox, it pops right up.
On YouTube?
Because we're past 20,000 hits, so.
Wow.
So
they've gone viral.
Yeah,
so there you go.
we like that.
There you go. All right. Well,
No kidding.
congratulations.
And your future guest is also a Black Fox member. He should have been in the video.
He should have.
He's a Black Fox student.
He's a
That's
alumni.
yeah,
That's
that's
right.
when they just had like one student in each class back in that day.
No, they were all in
He was
one
the
class.
They were all in one.
They
That's
were all
right.
in
They
one
had
class.
sawdust floor.
That's
at the
how
I
time.
was there
Oh,
then
That's
too. So.
That's right. There you go. Now, another interesting thing that I just want to chat about for just a minute is that you have fainting goats.
I do have fainting
So
goats.
talk about those for a minute, because
I
I
would
mean,
love to talk.
I've
They're
seen them on
sweet.
TV,
Fainting
and a
goats
couple
are
of
a
things
lot of
we've
fun.
seen. But how fun is that?
I have a little. They're a little registered herd. We're White Oak Valley Fainters. We had 8 little kids born in 5 days.
Oh my goodness!
They are just a lot of fun.
And if they get startled, they
get startled
go down.
and they're myotonic.
Okay. I don't know what that means.
Well, it means that their muscles just stiffen up, and it causes them to fall over.
Oh.
And depending on the level, sometimes they just stiff up and they walk stiff-legged a little bit. But mine completely fall over. And yeah,
but they're still awake. They're not like asleep.
They are. They pass out. They fall all the way over, stiffen up in a few seconds.
Then they just hop back up like nothing ever happened.
And it's unpredictable. My dad can just say hello to them and they all fall over.
And you hate to laugh because you think you don't want to startle them, but it's just a reflex that happens. It's part of the breed. The breed is.
Yeah.
Well, it causes people.
The breed has bred to fall over.
Well, and it causes people that are startling you to stop startling you, or to just maybe stop. So I may try that. Somebody starts just fall over and just please stop doing that. And maybe they just will quit because that. But it's a very.
Not in our house.
But I do believe they have viral videos of the fainting goats.
They do. One of my son and his friends, when he was Lee. They videoed. She's on there fainting.
That's
She's
hysterical.
hilarious. but it's a lot of fun, and they're a really sweet breed. They
Yeah.
don't climb. They're not
And they're
risk
not that
takers,
big.
obviously.
Right.
They
No, they're
don't get
not.
that big, but they don't knock you down.
Right.
You know,
Right.
goats are notorious
Yes,
for that.
they
These
are.
goats don't. They're not going to knock you down.
Now, do they eat everything in sight, though?
They do, but they're really nice about it.
Well,
And
that's
sometimes it's
okay.
something
They
that
ask
you
first.
want. Yeah, they
Yes.
trimmed my ivy for me one time. And when they get out, you can just startle them and they run back in. So
Well, and I see we're getting off on that now. That wasn't even the plan. But now that I'm talking about it, okay, but goats eat everything, but do they really eat like
they
tin
really
cans?
don't eat. No, they don't.
That's what I'm
really eat
saying. I've heard
everything.
tin cans.
They don't. They don't eat
No,
tin
how can you
cans.
eat
They
a
would
tin
chew
can?
on it maybe. They would like to chew. But they wouldn't eat it.
But I mean, floury stuff they'll
They
eat.
do.
The hound at.
They do.
And garbage. They'll
And
eat garbage pretty much.
Probably.
So.
I don't know. I haven't ever tried.
Yeah.
it.
Well,
I
Garbage,
just-
but
well,
they
I
do.
was
They'll
watching
chew
something the
on
other
it.
day
They
that
Would
chew
you
on
feed
my.
the goats garbage,
chew on
Kim?
my-
No,
Really?
I mean, like if you don't want your compost pile anywhere
Right.
near your goats because your goats are going to eat your
So what do
compost.
you do? You give them garbage then instead? Is that what you're saying?
No, you get goat food, Joe. I
Oh.
don't know. I'm just
You
saying.
get goat food. That's
You
the
get
answer
goat
to that. But they're really
There you
sweet.
go.
They're a lot of fun. It's a fun hobby. I grew up and live on a farm. Showed cattle when I was younger. This is a much more manageable farm hobby for me. And my
'Cause they're not
students
very
live close
big.
to me, and they know that they have permission to have their parents honk to see if they can make them faint. So I'll hear toots regularly.
Do
where
you have
they're
field
trying-
trips from your school to your farm?
No, we haven't had those, but I
Oh.
do. But they do get. The goats get a field trip. They do get to go to school.
Okay.
Every now and then, teachers will actually kiss goats if their students
See, I would.
make a certain number of scores.
Number of
Yeah, they
scores.
have to achieve so much
That's
reading,
right.
and
Teacher
teachers.
kiss
Yeah,
the
I know.
goat.
I
we
would
bring
kiss
them
a goat. They're cute little.
I have
little
some that you would like.
They're
Now,
so
let me
They're
ask you
really
this:
sweet.
can they? They're pets. They can be pets, but
Oh, yeah.
you can have them in the house like a dog.
I've heard of people who did that. I don't do that. I bring them in sometimes,
Right.
you know, to when they're little babies, and I'll show
Right.
them off a little bit.
That is so neat.
How you
Got some
handling
cute-
the cold out there? Lots
Very cold, but
I
they're
mean-
okay. I've got the babies in, and you do have to look out for that.
Right.
Sure.
You have to give them good shelter. Goats need shelter more than horse and cattle. So,
How many do you have?
well, I've got more than I had because I had all those babies. I think my husband said, "Do you
She
realize
had
you've got
8, right?
21?" I think
21?
I've got 20. Yeah, I do. I've
So
got
they goats or
them.
gerbils?
They're
good.
goats. All right. Well,
They're great.
That-
they
I
are.
would
They're
love
cute
to
as a
have.
button. And they're
They
little,
really
right?
are.
They're not very big. They don't get very
They don't
big.
get big.
Right,
Not as
they
big
don't.
as a German
As
Shepherd.
big.
They're no. Yeah, between
good
a
for you.
boxer and a.
We have 4 Chihuahuas, so you know
You
we'd
would
have at
just
least
love
25
goats.
goats. I know.
You wouldn't have to mow.
I know.
That's
Wouldn't
how
that be great? Just to have a
know.
bunch of goats, and I guess,
They're really
and in our area, in the town, you can have goats in the city, could you not?
Oh, I don't know. I've
I
heard of
don't know. I'm
scandalous
not sure
things
about
with
that.
goats.
Do you know, Deb? Can you have
I
a goat
felt
in the
so
city?
sorry for that family that had to get rid of theirs. I can't remember what city, but there was a place where it was a really
Yeah, I'm not sure about the city.
scandalous.
Huh?
No, you're not getting a goat.
Well,
Joe.
I'm just thinking,
We're not
Kim.
getting
I
a
mean,
goat.
If you were
yeah.
going to get one, you would want a fainting goat.
You don't want a
for sure.
fainting goat. Well, yeah.
And if you got a fainting goat or a goat, you'd want more than one. You could. I mean,
They
would
get lonely. They
yeah,
do,
so I say they need to
do.
have
They
like
need
a
couple
partner, a
of
friend.
Yeah.
Huh.
They do.
All right.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank
Yes.
you. Thanks
Thank
for
you
having
so
me.
Enjoyed it so much. I mean, and congratulations to the school. Over
Thank
20,000 hits is a great thing.
I will
Yeah.
share
So
that
we're
with
proud.
them. They were very wonderful.
Well,
So
good.
thank you.
Well, good.
Terrific. Thank you so much, Dr. Kim Fisher, principal of Black Fox Elementary School,
And fainting goat.
and
owner.
fainting right, and fainting goat fame here with her 21. We've got, of course, another fainting goat on the way. Every once in a while, he'll faint.
He's a bigger breed.
He's a bigger breed, and you want him just alone. But he will eat everything, too. We've got Ron Moore in the house. He'll be on the way in just a few. We'll talk about some history when we return with Tennessee Valley this morning after this.
Town Americana, where trucks are big and bold, and a handshake is firm, and your word is gold. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens is a $2,000 drive. Maybe you're coming from here or here, doesn't matter. Buying a truck from Don Ledford in Athens will save you at least $2,000 bucks. Don Ledford Chevy Buick GMC in Athens, a $2,000 drive worth making.
I'll take that drive every time.
At Crawford Pharmacy, we offer custom compounding. Our pharmacists are known for their attention to detail and unique expertise. So visit us at 2260 Chambliss Avenue, Cleveland, Tennessee. For personal assistance, walk right in or come up to our convenient drive-thru. Crawford Pharmacy, serving our community one person at a time.
Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast in Cleveland, is the place to find quality pre-owned cars and trucks. Kyle offers on-the-spot financing on all vehicles on the lot. Each pre-owned vehicle goes through a complete inspection to make sure each car and truck meets the Kyle Motors standard. Warranty and extended warranties available on all vehicles. Kyle Motors will sell you a car or truck that you will be proud to drive for many years to come. See Tony, Bill, Dale, James, or David and let them put you in your next quality pre-owned vehicle. Kyle Motors, 802 20th Street Southeast. Phone 790-7100.
Are you having trouble filing for disability?
Seems no one is concerned about your pain, the waiting, the denials.
While some representatives will meet with you in court, we will meet with you now to discuss your plan. We'll review with you the same file that the judges will see. Call us now. Social Security Law Center at Logan Thompson.
You're entitled to better.
This segment of Tennessee Valley This Morning is brought to you by Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, located at 511 South Lee Highway in Cleveland and 2120 Chapman Road, Chattanooga. For your next new or previously owned vehicle, make it Crown Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram, the better way to buy. Welcome back to Tennessee Valley This Morning, and that was a lot of fun.
That was so much fun.
Sure glad to have had Dr. Kim Fisher, principal of Black Fox Elementary School, with us. And
interesting lady.
Very interesting.
Very interesting lady.
Well, she comes from an interesting family.
Almost as interesting as this man beside me.
I attended Black Fox Elementary and remember when she started at Black Fox. So that's a little...
Well, you remember when her dad was principal.
Oh, yes. Right. Well, now, he wasn't principal when I was there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was already gone when he went there. He was still at Bradley.
Bradley.
But Kim and my little sister were in the school together and we're best friends.
Oh, real close
wonderful.
They wanted me to be in the video. They wanted me to play one of the elephants.
I'm telling you. You look good. You've lost some weight.
You do
How
look
do you
good.
do that over the holidays? How do you
Get rid of Football Friday and look at it.
I got the flu.
You got the flu.
So, yeah, that's one way to do it.
That's your heart.
Yeah, I had that too, man.
Yeah, it was really rough.
Goodness.
Yeah.
I didn't. I mean, what can I say? And I do want to tell you that Christmas picture with you as Santa Claus and Avery was the sweetest thing
Wasn't it
I've
great?
ever. I mean, there was a picture of Rome with his little grandbaby that you. I mean, I had
We've got it blowed up, and the one on my desk, one at home.
It
so
is
yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah.
It
Now, I
is
mean,
absolutely
I'm just throwing this out there, but you made a pretty good Santa.
Yeah.
If I don't mind saying so myself.
Yeah. So.
I mean, I think you've
I
got
tried to
work.
take on Joe
You
Cannon.
were, yeah, you were a contemporary
That's
Santa
right.
with the
Sort of.
scruff, instead of the long beard and the hair back. I mean, you're kind of like
a modern day Santa.
Yeah.
Don Johnson.
Yeah,
style.
That's what I'm
Don
thinking.
Johnson style Santa.
Don Claus.
The bad boy Claus.
Yeah.
All right.
Bad Santa.
Bad
Yeah,
Santa,
okay.
but bad in a good way. You know what I mean?
Well, I've got a tip that you guys were going to talk about. Or have the what the fox says, which ring a ding 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 ding
Right.
ding. Pow, 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 pow. Yeah. I know all that. I know my modern music. But I want to talk a little bit about Cherokees because it has something to do with Black Fox.
Okay.
First off, Candy's Creek was named after Henry Candy, C-A-N-D-Y, and eventually it was Candy's apostrophe S. We've now modernized it and it's Candy's plural, C-A-N-D-I-E-S Creek. So he owned a large farm from Candy's Creek Ridge all the way from Hopewell to Black Fox.
Okay.
Pretty big
big
farm.
farm.
It is.
Yeah, and then Henry's daughter married someone known, his name is Conrad Hare. There's a famous cabin here on the Blyfoot Farms there. And that was Harris Creek runs through there, or Hares Creek.
Okay.
So the name got changed. But in south of Conrad Hare's home was the Black Fox community. And Black Fox was one of the principal chiefs of the Cherokee Nation. before John Ross. This is before the removal. So this is another big Cherokee chief that lived here in our community. And he lived at the places where Candy's Creek, Black Fox Creek, and Drum Gold, or Drum Google, some people call it, Creek, all came together. He lived on that. And it's what most people today would know as the Bob Easterly Farm.
Okay.
Oh, yeah? They
Right,
had
so
peacocks on that
right
farm.
below Black Fox Elementary School, you know, and right where it ends there. And Chief Jack Black Fox signed a few treaties, but not the final one moved. But he was able to get some agreements with the government, and he got a nice pension for the rest of his life from the U.S. government.
That's what the fox says.
Yeah, and
pension.
it's a small pension, but
Well, anyway, it was a pension.
it's better than a lot of the Cherokees got who got nothing but a trip.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
A nice long walk.
Yes. But the Easterlys, which have occupied that farm down there since the 1900s, Will Easterly helped start what we call his Barnell Nursery down. He's also instrumental in bringing a school and education to the area, Black Fox Elementary. It's located, Black Fox First School was located down across the tracks, going past right behind Bob Easterly's deck there. And then the new school was built on Barnell Road in about 1950.
Okay.
And as they say now, it houses about over 500 students. And it's, like I say, I attended there, and
Great minds.
Great minds, sure did, and
Black
everything.
Fox.
For several generations, there's all kind of mills down in the area, you know, back with all the water it runs through with Harris Creek and Black Fox Creek and Drum Google or Drum Gold Creek. They had mills to grind the corn. And that used to be a very common thing throughout Bradley County. Even down Key Street, there's some places where there was actually mills. But unfortunately for Bradley County, not like Prater's Mill down in down in towards Dalton,
Right.
we have no mills left anywhere. There's some the concrete traces that help the wheel. There's a few of those things around, like down off Dalton Pike, but really we don't have any mills left. There was, of course, the near the Easterly Farm was Triplet Mill. Was located on Candy Creek, and the triplets started the cemetery in the community, where graves go back all the way to 1860. And Black Fox's neighbor was a guy named Bendabout.
Oh, so there's a farm.
There's a farm, yes.
There's a farm.
It was also a sizable farm, and now the Johnston family, who came to Bradley County in the 1830s, settled there, and in the farm, and they're the residents of Bendabout. There's one grave there on the Bendabout farm. It goes back to 1836, before the removal of there. It's a grave of a small child whose dad was an Irishman and his mom was a Cherokee. It is back in the middle of some of that 4,000 plus acres back there. And Mr. Johnston and the family keeps the grave up and there. So it's very, very nice. There's an old stagecoach road that runs through there. It went on down through Ottawa. So very historical area, all of Black Fox and Bendabout. And down, of course, when you get to the end of the Bendabout farm, you get into McDonald and places called Tucker Springs, Mineral Springs, Lauderback Springs, where they had all the resorts. We've talked about that before, where the arsenic water is. Where I tried to get you to drink some of that water.
I know.
And people come down there and bathed in the water, and really huge resorts. People would come spend weeks and months at Ball Springs and that. And at Mineral Springs, there were 7 different types of water within hundreds of feet of each other, coming out of springs, which, you know, don't know how that happened. Mineral water, arsenic water, and of course Tucker Spring was one of the largest ones built, and it was up on the hill. All those buildings are all gone now, pretty much. Down at Ball Springs are some of the original cabins, and I understand some of the cabins or insides of houses that they used in the movie Wild River, where the families were being moved, and the older black gentleman was turning on the electric lights on and off because he'd never seen that before.
Oh.
Now that I understand that was at Ball Springs there. So, you know, there was entertainment, there was water. You know, when the Cherokees, part of the reason they were there because all the water sources in there. And if you'll go through the area, I'll guarantee you that there are Indian mounds. There are probably woodland Indians along those creeks and things like that. Of course, there's a lot of building going on now, but I'm almost positive that you could locate an Indian mound somewhere there. Of course, it's all on private property now, and please don't go on there and dig.
Yeah, no.
Tell them that
Well,
Ron
you know,
Moore sent you.
I was thinking as you were talking that in those areas, you know, after that time when they started doing the building that they've done and all the stuff that they've done, they've had to uncover some unbelievable artifacts. I mean, you have to figure there's got to be some stuff that was there, left there, that they have found, or that still may be there.
There's a lot of stuff that's still there. And matter of fact, we know where a council circle is located. I won't tell you where it is. It has been covered over.
Right.
Which is a good thing, which means anything inside the council circle is where they sit around and they actually plan what the Cherokee Nation is going to be. We actually have, of course, everybody knows that we had one down at the park at the end of the Red Clay. Boy, my mind went like that.
I was like, where
Red Clay Park was the last council ground before they were moved out. But there was another one that's in the area here, and it has been filled in. It's been filled in for years, and so they've been talked about possibly an archaeological dig there, and most likely they'll find potteries and pipes and things there. So it's really unusual to have an old council circle. It's going to be a dug down type pit. Could have had a cover over it at one time. That is still well preserved, and like I say, an archaeological dig would be very great there, and it's been planned and talked about, and that may happen. You know, we've had a lot of that when TVA come in and started flooding land.
Yeah. We
did a lot of digs up there, and there's at least 5 Indian bodies that were recovered and are in the McClung Library now. If we ever get a big establishment here, there's a lot of Cherokee artifacts in the McClung Library that we could get back here to Bradley County that would be partially ours and partially McClung's. But they actually have some bodies that have been stored and preserved that come out of the north end up here around the water area.
See, now just going back on what people always use, that little byline, oh, you got some problems there, must have been built on an old Indian burial ground. That's got to be a little scary to move those bodies and do things, because that was sacred to them at that time. And we just come in and, oh, there's a body. We're digging to build a dam. We're going to move this body over. That doesn't, I mean, I'd leave that alone.
Well, if you go to out on Free Will Road to Princeton Hills, I believe is the name of it. If you go in, you'll notice their houses all around. In the middle, there's a dome, a large earthen dome, looked like it had been put there. It was actually a woodland Indian mound right in the middle of that subdivision. Jim Sharp actually stopped digging when they found it, and is now owned by a conservatory, an Indian trust, and he mows it and keeps it thing. There's some benches up on the what remains they found while they were building the houses. I think they I've got the exact word, put them back in the ground there in that mound. And when I say a mound, we're not talking about the size of this room. We're talking about the size of getting close to a football field.
Wow.
That's right in the middle of a big modern subdivision, and thanks to Jim Sharp for saving that.
Yeah, no kidding.
That ending, because it's been very easy just take the bulldozer and finish that off. But it's right there along the creek. If you haven't been there, it's just amazing to drive in there and see all these big fancy houses, and you drive around, and there in the center is just a big mounded area, and that is actually a woodland Indian thing. Please do not dig in it. It is sacred ground,
and sacred. If not just, it's just the right thing to do. It's like somebody going and up earthing the Fort Hill or some other cemetery to build something. There's people in there. There's loved ones of people that are buried in there. That's their resting place, their final resting place. You don't just move it.
Not only is it not the correct thing, there is laws that
it's illegal.
If you try to sell Indian artifacts, there are certain laws. I'm not going to try to quote all the laws, but don't go dig up a bunch of Cherokee items and then try to go sell it. You could be arrested for that.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, and so that is protected in. Looks like Indian mounds in Bradley County and Meigs County and McMinn County. There are a lot of them out there, and I know where a lot of them are. I will not tell you exactly where they are. This one's in the middle of the subdivision. I feel safe that you will not, wouldn't get to go
up there.
Right. But, you know, Deb and I, as we travel, we'll say, Deb said, almost like the guys from the finding Bigfoot.
Oh, right.
That looks a little squatchy, and Deb says that looks a little moundy over there.
It's a little moundy over there.
So, but yeah, so the Cherokees have a big involvement in there, and it affects things. We name a school after Black Fox, which was people ask a lot of times why they were. He was actually an Indian chief. You know, the main chief of the whole Cherokee Nation was Black Fox. Everybody knows John Ross and everything, but very few people realize that he was the principal chief
Black
of
Fox
the.
was there. So now we know, and we know what the fox said.
Well, you know, I guess it's just it's interesting to me, but on the other hand, it's sad to think that, you know, again, this is where people at the time, was what they felt was a great place, whether it be under a certain tree or wherever they decided to make the burial area, and then we just come in and push them over here, and then we're going to build a building here or whatever.
Put up a parking lot.
Put up a parking lot, right?
I want to say that when people complain when their new construction come along, so well, that's where the Cherokee lived. The Cherokee lived at every inch of this.
Right, where your house is.
From Kentucky, Virginia, to Georgia, South Carolina, and everything. If you build a house, you build it on Cherokee land.
All right.
So anytime we do new construction, it's sad to see it go. Civil War sites are just being destroyed every day, and it's part of it. So do a little something to help preserve history. We destroy enough of it every day.
Right.
Yeah.
The mills are gone, you know. Our old courthouse is gone. You know, I talk about that a lot, but
We got a parking lot.
we got a nice one, yes.
Yeah.
But you know, just think about that. Every day that you drive down Keith Street, you're driving on Cherokee land.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and when you go to the public library, Cherokee land, the courthouse, every place in Bradley County was Cherokee land. It was a different nation until 1838.
I know. I was telling my mom even, we were talking about it, and until you really started doing this segment with us, it never in my head did I realize that it was a true nation, and you had to have a passport in a sense, you know, or papers in order to come through, you know, and to visit. It wasn't our right to just, you know, it was theirs. They were here first, and you know, and it's a shame of what we did, but it also was a grand and a very noble nation for a long time before,
Well, gold
tore down Paradise
gold
and
sort
put
of
up a
run them out
parking
of
lot.
Georgia, and then just the greed of us to advance. And you know, at one time, the Hiawassee River, the United States was just north of the Hiawassee River. South of the Hiawassee River was the Cherokee Nation. So actually, two different countries right here, next to next. And then, of course, there's hundreds of stories of why it happened, and you know, Chief Jack Walker. Of course, we know Walker Valley is named after all that. His murder probably led to the final nail in the coffin for the Cherokee Nation. Right. When a federal judge ruled in Knoxville about the Cherokee Nation.
Right. I mean, lots of interesting stories, obviously.
And for that,
And,
Saturday mornings at 10 o'clock.
That's exactly right.
What
You
am I
can hear a lot
going to
more.
tell you? On Whoop Radio, Old Town Cleveland, you got to go and listen to Debbie and Ron and their guests or whatever they talk about. What are you talking about Saturday?
Star Mountain and Mason Evans.
Okay, Star Mountain.
Mason Evans is the hermit of Star Mountain. Oh, excuse
never
me.
mind.
My wife told me I was
No,
wrong.
he just thought of it. He just did. Nobody say.
That's a couple of weeks from now. This Saturday.
This Saturday.
Oh, you're talking
That's
about this Saturday.
This Saturday is Wild River, the movie about that. David Swafford, the leading expert in the country on Wild River, will be with us.
Oh, okay.
Then next week after that, we're doing Rex Dockery, and then guess what
And
we're
then
doing? Star Mountain and Mason Evans.
Have a good week.
All right, folks. Have a good week. We'll see you next time at Tennessee Valley This Morning. Thanks to Ron Moore and Dr. Kim Fisher, and have yourself a good rest of the week.